Da-da-da-da-da. Cheers!
Welcome to another episode of the Drunken Sisters Porchcast.
I'm your host, April.
And I'm Michelle.
And here we are.
Listeners, we are in a special location tonight.
We are live from inside. It's actually not that cold out tonight, but
it's
a little
too cold.
Although the rest of the country probably hates us right now.
They're probably like, these fools. Yeah, they're having like a blizzard or something on the East Coast.
It's crazy. I heard the White House was snowed in.
Yeah.
Snowed in.
One of my coworkers works out of her house and she lives in D.C. And she was telling me last week that they're prepared to get snowed in.
What do you do? Like, does life just stop? Like,
no,
what do you do when you have the job that you have to get to? Like, I couldn't just not go to work. Someone has to.
No, but everybody shut down if they're snowed in.
But there are jobs that have to be open, like hospitals and doctors.
You get snowed into the hospital.
Oh, so you stay at work?
Yeah, you stay at work.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm not a doctor or anything, but I would assume that's the most logical thing to do.
Oh, man.
So,
yes.
We went to a very special screening on the Monday.
Happy birthday, song!
Yay!
Cheers!
Thank you.
Yes, we celebrated your birthday in the most spectacular manner
yes,
ever.
We did.
What did we do?
We went to the show.
We did.
And we saw
Goonies! We saw Goonies. Not a remake.
Nope.
Not a reboot.
The original film in the theater.
Not remastered.
Screen. Oh no, definitely not. It was a little blurry.
Someone was mentioning to me, I was saying that the film quality at some points was so bad that it was completely blurry, or the screen was a little off
wonky.
Tilt, a little wonky. The sound was off at one point. And he said that they're probably not used to knowing how to run the film projectors anymore.
Yeah. It's digital usually. No, it's still film, isn't it?
I don't think so. I think it's all digital now.
Really?
Actually, I have no idea.
But when you see a newer film in the theater, don't you still hear the like that's the film running?
I don't.
Or do they just play that noise so you think there's film running?
I don't remember the last time I've heard that noise, so I don't know.
Listeners, if any of you work in the movie theater, go ahead and tweet us and let us know if all films are still film or if it's digital.
That's a good question.
It is a good question.
Did you enjoy it?
I did.
Was it fun?
It was so much fun. And we had a Stella.
We did. We had beers in the theater.
Yep.
The Drunken Sisters beers. I flung food.
April threw jalapenos on the people in front of us.
It was an accident. Michelle likes to dump jalapenos on top of her popcorn. And I had reached over to get a little bit of Michelle's popcorn, but out came this big jalapeno with it. So I'm trying to shake it off of the popcorn and back into the box, but instead I launched it halfway down the theater and hit some guy in the head.
You don't like jalapenos?
Those ones are really spicy.
Those are really hot, yeah.
They were not the normal pickled ones.
They were so good.
My mouth was on fire.
Mine too. Yeah, I sure packed up like I was going to be in the theater for about 10 hours.
That was fun though. We had hot dogs, we had popcorn, we had beers, we had sodas.
So the ArcLight is doing the special thing where they have older films that they play once a week, I guess, like one-time showing.
Yeah.
So this was part of it.
This tonight, right? I think they're playing Interview with the Vampire.
Oh, tonight?
Yeah.
You want to go?
I did.
Listeners, we'll be back. You know what I missed tonight?
What?
I signed up to take the Jeopardy test.
Oh?
And I missed it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed in myself.
Oh, no wonder you were so sad earlier.
I was sad.
You missed the Jeopardy test.
The thing is, there's one tomorrow, and I
Oh.
tried to register for it, but it said, you're already registered for tonight's test.
Oh, maybe you can try and take it again.
Well, I emailed them, and then I figured if they don't get back to me by the morning, I'm just going to create a new login with a different email.
Oh, you should have just done that anyway.
Well, maybe I'll do that tonight, and then
Okay.
take it tomorrow, but I cannot forget.
No, you cannot.
Oh my gosh.
Last time you had people that you thought could help you.
Right. So, listeners, it never helps to cheat because last time I wanted to take this Jeopardy test and two of my friends were like, oh, I can help you. I'll know the answers. And they're relatively smart people. So I went along with it and I spent more time waiting for them to give me an answer than actually trying to figure it out myself. And I did not hear back from Jeopardy. Needless to say,
this dumb bunny.
like, were you just taking this for fun?
Oh my goodness.
So hopefully I'll have some success this time.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
I think you
Maybe
would do
they'll have a
well.
question about like Manson or something.
Your cat?
Death Becomes Her. No, Charles Manson.
Oh yeah.
Death Becomes Her or something that I'm like a pro at.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know, remember when we went and saw the live filming of Jeopardy?
Yeah. Oh, that was so much fun. And I knew the extra, what was it, Double Jeopardy?
Yeah, you knew the Double Jeopardy.
Final Jeopardy.
It was the only time where, so if you go to watch a taping of Jeopardy, they tell you that you cannot talk, or otherwise they have to cut because it could be considered cheating, blah, 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 blah. And I like to shout out the answers if I know it for Jeopardy because it's so rare that I know an answer on Jeopardy. And the category that came up was Wicked.
Yes.
The one topic that I could tell you anything about and knew everything, I couldn't shout out the answers.
So when the Final Jeopardy question came up and I knew what the answer was, or vice versa, right? Because I give you the answer.
Yeah.
You give the question. I couldn't say anything. So instead I took my hand and I was like writing out the answer on April's knee so she knew that I knew it.
What is she doing? Remember the older lady sitting next to us was playing along. She was writing down all her answers and keeping score. It was
she
really
probably
cute.
cheated too. She didn't take any away.
We should go do that again.
We should.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we can go to the Ellen show too.
Yeah, our residents are going to the Ellen show.
Oh.
I was thinking we could contact our friend.
Ellen?
Our friend that works on the Ellen show and see if he can hook up the senior citizens.
I wonder if when are they going to the Ellen show?
In February.
Can you give me the date? Maybe I'll tag along.
Yeah, that would be fun. You could ride the bus.
So, our younger sister went to the Ellen show last week.
Did.
She didn't tell anyone, specifically me. She had just checked in at the Walt Disney Studios in Burbank one day, and I commented on there. I said, "What are you doing there?" And she sends me a text, and she says, "Oh, pit stop before I go to the Ellen show." And I was like, what the what? So I proceeded to blow up her phone with these texts saying, I hope you don't get to see the show. I hope you get stuck in the waiting room. I hope Ellen calls out sick.
Man, when I talked to her the next day randomly. I called her mom, but she answered the phone and I ended up having a good conversation with her.
Yeah.
But she told me she'd gone to the Ellen show. It just sounded like the ultimate betrayal.
I know. It really is. She didn't even tell me about it. So then what I did was I took her Facebook picture, I downloaded it, and then I tweeted it to the Ellen show, and I said, wanted. Little sister with attitude goes to the Ellen show without older sister.
Did she know you did this?
Well, she didn't. And so the next day she was giving me the recap, kind of like shoving it in my face a little bit. And she's like, yeah, but we were in the waiting room. We didn't get to the actual show. So I think I jinxed it.
Oh.
But she said that the people who were working there kept looking at her funny. And I said, oh, well, maybe it's because I tweeted them your picture. And she said, no, you didn't. I said, yeah, I did. And she's like, no, you didn't. I checked. I said, well, you better check again. So then she's carrying on a conversation about something else. And all of a sudden, she starts cursing it. Like, just out of nowhere.
Like she had Tourette's all of a sudden?
She had pulled it up while she was talking, saw it, and then just went crazy.
Oh.
How could you do that to me? And I guess she showed it to Alfredo, her husband, and he starts laughing. And she's like, it's not funny.
It's kind of funny. Oh, that'll
Sarah,
teach her.
If you're listening, that's what you get.
Speaking of family, our cousin, or another cousin, is about to have a baby tomorrow.
Yeah,
she
is it tomorrow?
Scheduled for her C-section tomorrow to bring in her son.
Out in Florida.
So welcome, Parker. Is that his name?
Baby Parker.
Baby Parker. We can't wait to meet
Cheers.
you. Cheers.
Da 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 da.
Cheers to all of our cousins having babies, except for us.
Our cousin out in California that lives near us, his wife is expecting.
Any
minute.
It's going to pop right out.
Yeah.
Are we the only ones that don't have kids?
Yeah.
Alec doesn't have kids yet.
Alec and Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone else does.
Everyone else has kids. There's 4 of us that are
kid free.
kid free.
Kid free. 5 of us.
5? Oh, Sarah.
Sarah doesn't have kids.
Sorry, Sarah.
Well, so half of the grandma's grandkids have children.
Okay.
The other half?
Yeah. Well, our cousins out in Reno have enough kids for all of us. So
what, they have 11?
I don't know.
Between the two
all
of
together,
them?
I'm not sure. I mean, they're all very sweet children.
Yes.
Now. Remember they were young? Oh man, kids are always a handful when they're young.
They are a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Little balls of energy. So tonight,
yes.
drink.
Oh yeah, what are we drinking?
We're drinking rum and coke.
It's so good.
Tonight's rum is the Captain Morgan White Rum.
Arr.
Arr. So we're reminiscing tonight.
Oh, da 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 da.
Fun.
How punny.
It's pretty punny.
Bo ho 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 ho. So it's my birthday.
It's your birth week.
So if any of our listeners know Ellen,
yes,
I'm obsessed.
She is.
I've loved Ellen since I was young.
It's very true.
Since she had her TV show on after Roseanne.
Yes.
And I wanted to start watching it because her commercial for the show before it even started was her jumping on the couch shouting, "I'm on after Roseanne." And I thought it was just so funny. And I've been a fan ever since.
I remember that Mom and Dad didn't want you to watch it.
No, they wanted me to watch it. And then, when she came out on the show, they had their hesitation. So I made a wall Ellen. Yes. Remember I had the Ellen calendar?
You did. You had the Ellen wall.
And I cut out every Ellen picture from the TV Guide.
Is TV Guide even a thing anymore?
Yeah, but it's a much smaller, magazine type of article now.
Oh.
Not so much a big book.
You know what else we did this week?
Yes? No? What?
No?
What?
The X-Files.
Oh, the X-Files are back.
The X-Files are back. We watched the first episode.
Yeah, we need to watch the second one because we went to the Goonies instead.
It's on Hulu.
Is it?
Yeah, you can watch them on Hulu.
Okay.
So we're going to have to watch those.
Scully.
But I am so excited that David Duchovny is back on TV.
April's excited about David Duchovny. I'm excited about Gillian Anderson.
She looks good.
She does look good. She looks very different, though, with blonde hair.
Yeah, her hair's a lot lighter. Her face is very gaunt.
Gaunt?
Thin. She's got a thin face. I mean, she was not obese. I mean, she looked great in the earlier season. I just felt like her
thinner than she was before.
Were very sunken in.
Well,
but David Duchovny,
he looks a little rough.
Yes, he does.
Okay.
I love rough.
Whoa. Listeners, if you have children in the area, please.
I loved him on the X-Files. I was a huge fan. Yeah, that was mine and Dad's thing every Friday night.
Me.
It was.
So Dad did watch X-Files.
He did.
Well, yeah, I called him and I asked him.
We didn't text about it at all.
Well, he called me. Oh, did I tell you that Mom and Dad sent me flowers?
You sent me a picture. I got upset first, and then I remembered that they gave me a Pandora bracelet, so meh.
Well, to be fair, they told me the day before that they weren't coming to my birthday party for whatever reason. And I think they felt bad, so they sent me some flowers.
No, they were beautiful flowers. That was very, very sweet.
They were.
And a balloons that freed.
Yeah, so I had this bundle of balloons. Yeah, some balloons from my friend Jose had given me 3 balloons. They were all on the strings with a little weight to it. And then I took the balloon from the flowers, I brought it, and I added it to the bouquet of balloons, if you will.
Yes.
And Netson has decided that they're too captive in their weight, right?
They needed to be liberated.
So he's chewed through the strings of 3 of the balloons.
And they're floating on the ceiling.
They're floating on the ceiling.
Free.
And I still think he's trying to get that 4th one, but he's been unsuccessful.
Hasn't quite gotten to it yet.
Mm.
So did you get some good birthday gifts?
I did. I actually have it right here. This really fancy Batman-shaped mirror.
That is pretty awesome.
Which I'm so excited to hang up.
You better have someone help you hang that.
Well, I was going to ask Robert, but then I realized that he's probably going to steal it, hang it up in his house instead.
I wouldn't ask Robert. He'll probably steal it and hang it up in his house instead.
Well, that's what I just said. I can hang a mirror. I'm not dumb.
I know, but it could be heavy and you don't want it to drop and break.
Well, if I'm lifting the box with one hand right here, the mirror cannot be that much heavier.
That's fair. Maybe you
Okay.
should have Dad come up and hang it.
I can hang them here.
Okay. I
Batman.
would just hate something.
I'm gonna tweet
something
that
happened to
Batman
it.
dad.
Batman Dad?
Yeah, you know the dad that dresses like Batman? He's been all over Facebook like a couple months ago.
No, I don't think I
So
know
he
of
wears
this.
the Batman mask and he films himself and like his kids in the background and he says like funny stuff. And they're so annoyed with him. It's pretty funny.
That sounds funny.
Something I would do.
Yeah?
Yeah. For sure.
Oh,
Only to
man.
the cats and they don't care.
Saw today on Facebook,
Yes.
you posted a video. I think you should share that with our listeners.
So, listeners, as I am now 31 years old.
Yes. Congratulations!
Thank you.
New rotation.
Woo! So, what's been weighing heavy on me lately is what am I doing with my life? Am I doing the things that I want to do? Am I wasting opportunities? Am I just existing? And today I found this video on Facebook where I forget what group it was, put a giant chalkboard in New York City, and they had written across the top, what are your biggest regrets? And people were writing things, and they were saying, not saying I love you enough, not having children before my dad passed away, not applying to med school, not getting my MBA, not. And they said, what do all these things have in common? But not taking opportunities and not doing things that they want to do. So at the end of the day, the next day, they erased it and they wrote on their clean slate.
Oh.
I know, it got to me.
It gives me the chills.
It does, because it's profound thinking.
Sometimes,
to think that every day is a brand new start.
Day.
Oh, I know.
That's how I start every day. It's a brand new day.
But it really is. It really is.
It is. I think a lot of people, it's easy to get lost in the I didn't and I haven't done all these things that you forget.
I can.
You can.
You're
doing. Not out of time.
Yeah.
You are alive. Hopefully you are well. And you can do these things. Yeah. And if there's anything I've learned with my current job is that life goes by fast. And that you should take every opportunity and every moment to fully appreciate life, your friends, your family. Be there for each other and be there for yourself. And do the things you want to do.
Do the things you want to do. And even if you don't succeed, at least you tried and you tried your best.
And you know that you tried.
And it will never be a regret.
You know, and some things I can say I tried and I'm glad I tried. Yeah. Because I realized it wasn't something I wanted to do.
But now that you said, I tried that.
And it didn't work or I didn't like it. It wasn't what I thought. And I can move on. But there's not this hanging, I wish I would have done that. I really wanted to do that. The only thing I think that's out of the loop for me right now is that I really wanted to be an astronaut when I was like...
You can be an astronaut.
I don't think so. But that's okay. I'm okay not being an astronaut.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I have a space helmet.
We could be astronauts in your living room.
Hey, I like that idea.
Astro party.
It's out of this world.
Oh, that would be a great party theme. Out of this world.
Oh, man. Is it too late to change the theme of my party?
I don't think so.
Because the 80s and 90s are out of this world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is even kind of a phrase for the 80s and 90s.
Out of this world?
Out of this world, man.
Man? Oh, okay.
Don't forget to add the man.
All right. Cowabunga.
Cowabunga, dude.
Yeah, so that was a video that really got to me today.
I'm going to watch it. I haven't. But I could see the effect that it had on you earlier when you told me about it.
And I was crying.
I know you were crying. I was like, oh shit.
I mean, it really is powerful. And I hope that, it comes across to our listeners as well, the same meaning that I took from it.
I hope so. I'm sure it will. I assume that all of our listeners are good people.
I mean, even if you are a bad person, it's not too late.
Do you think people who are bad people know that they're bad people?
Well, it's really hard to define what's a good person and what's a bad person.
I agree. I don't really know.
So
I think everyone...
I don't like to think anyone's a bad person.
I don't either. I think everyone's a good person, and sometimes they do things...
Because they're in a bad situation.
Yeah. And their hands are tied, and they feel it's their only option. Yeah. And sometimes it's hard to see other options.
So break on through to the
other side. Break on through! Break on through!
Hey, we're encouraging of all people to do their best.
Absolutely. Or at least try.
If at first you don't succeed.
Try again.
Yes.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Mm-hmm. This rum is good. I really like it.
I know.
Oh, you
It's
should
rumming
get
me
the,
out, man.
Da 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 da. Fun.
Woo!
What else is going on? Anything?
Well, we're having some great new exciting things coming up for our podcast soon.
Yes, we do.
Some great guests.
Good guests. My good friend Artie was supposed to be here tonight, but he got stuck at work. So hopefully he'll be able to join us next week.
Yes, absinthe.
And we're gonna try the absinthe next week.
What is absinthe?
You know, it's funny you ask that. Oh, I don't have my phone on me. I was looking up the history of it earlier today, and the official name for it is, I can't remember the full name, but it starts with art. Like art is something, and I was like, oh, it's so appropriate. The art's going to be on.
Or
for the absinthe
we could
night.
have Stella Artois.
Oh, we could do both.
Yeah, we could do both.
We'll have it art night.
Art night. It'll be the art night
with Artie. I'm excited to see him. I'm a little bummed he couldn't make it out here tonight, but I'm very excited to see him. Listeners, I consider you all my friends.
Yes, of course you are friends. Da 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 da.
Friends.
So we've been cheating. We've been like drinking our drink through the whole podcast and not even cheering.
I have known Artie since my very first day in high school.
Oh, wow.
We go way back, and he is one friend that I've had through that duration. Consistently. We will go months without talking or seeing each other, and as soon as we do, it's like no time has passed. We're right back where we started, and he's just a pleasure to hang out with.
He is a lot of fun.
He's fun. He's and he's always up for anything.
He's as silly as you are, I think.
We have a lot in common. The first day I met him in high school, I'm going to tell you guys this now because I think he gets annoyed when I tell people this story and he's there.
So we got to tell you ahead of time.
So I'm going to tell you ahead of time. Give you a little preface. My first day in high school, my first period was Spanish class.
Did you say preface?
Yeah.
Preface?
Preface? Oh, yeah, preface.
People say it both ways.
Do they?
I don't know.
Tomato.
I'm sure they do.
So it was my first day in Spanish class in high school. And you know those desk chair things, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm twirling my pencil and I drop it on the other side. Not the open side where I can easily bend over and get it. The other side. So I try to bend over the side of the desk to get my pen. And the entire chair and desk flip over with me. All of it. I just go crashing down.
You didn't fall down.
I did. And I'm stuck in the chair desk now, sideways, on the floor.
Were your feet like dangling in the air?
Yeah, they were up sideways. My book is I was so embarrassing. And I look up, and there's this guy, and he had a necklace that had a dancing skeleton on it.
Yeah.
And I looked up and I reached up and I was like, cool necklace, man. Like, smacked it.
That was your pickup line.
Apparently. And then he helped me back up. And then it turned out we actually had our first 3 classes together.
Oh, wow.
So we got to know each other very
well.
Wait,
so was Spanish class your first class?
Mm-hmm.
So your first day in your first class, you fell over.
And it was like in the first, it had to be like 15 minutes. She was taking roll. And I dumped my whole chair over. Oh, man.
I don't think I've ever heard that story before. That's pretty funny. Well, I wonder why he gets annoyed because you're the one that looked like a fool.
I know. Well, I think Artie is, I think we all have changed a lot since high school. And sometimes we just like to put those times behind us.
I see. Well, sometimes, they call for recollection.
But there's some pretty good stories with Artie and I. One time, this was actually just a couple years ago, I went to a shotgun radio show.
Yeah.
By myself. I think I drove with someone, but I knew I wasn't going to have a ride back.
So you went somewhere knowing you didn't have a ride back?
I'll figure it out. Otherwise, I would just spend the night at my friend's house.
Oh, okay.
At Lisa's house.
Okay.
It's like I had a loose plan.
You had options.
So I go to the show. It's in Hollywood. And Art randomly texts me, how am I doing? And I said, Artie, I'm in Hollywood at the show. You should come. And he shows up.
Oh, yeah?
He shows up. He drove down there with his friend. And I got very, very drunk, as I'm known to do. And then my friend Lisa, who is the wife of one of the...
it's your birthday.
Happy birthday, Lisa.
Lisa, it's my birthday.
Her husband's in the band. They're having an after party.
Yeah.
Art says he's down to go, so I'm like, okay, Art, I'll drive with you and I'll give you directions. So I'm in the back seat of his car, and at the time Art had his mom's car. It was a really nice car, but the interior was all white.
Okay.
Super nice car. So him and his friend are in the front. I'm in the back, and I'm starving, so I convince Art to stop at 7-Eleven. And he comes back with nachos.
Yes.
And a red Slurpee.
Okay.
And gives it to me in the back seat.
He knows what you like.
And we're driving, and I'm trying to give him directions.
With a white interior.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I tell him, I was like, oh, turn right there. So he turned. I tip over. And along with me went my nachos with like that 7-Eleven cheese sauce.
No.
All over. Slurpee falls over. Spills across the whole seat. I'm like, oh shit. So I collect myself, and he's like, what's wrong? It's like, nothing. So then I'm continuing to try to like look on my phone and give him directions. It's before Waze.
Yeah.
And we end up on a dirt road behind Universal Studios.
What?
Like at a dead end, like off-roading in a dead end behind Universal Studios. And he was like, April, I don't think you know what you're doing. So we finally get to Lisa's house 2 hours later.
Ooh, 2 hours it took you to get there?
Hours it took us to get there. And I ended up just spending the night there. Artie eventually left.
Did he see your nacho Slurpee?
No, but the next day I got a text.
What the hell?
And I was like, I'm so sorry. Just let me know what that costs.
You didn't even tell him you're a bad friend, Sal. You're a bad friend.
I know.
That probably stained because you waited so long.
Sure did. It was like a cherry Slurpee. So
listeners, the moral of the story is never get a white interior in your car. And if you do, keep April out of it.
Do not give me a Slurpee or let me give you directions.
Don't even let her in the car. She will find something to ruin it with.
Oh, man. My drink's almost empty.
Okay.
Come on, you've had nights like that, right?
Champagne problems.
It is a champagne problem.
I've had nights like that where my drink's almost empty.
Dear God, last week we did the champagne.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I had a headache.
Was so rough. I was like, we are never drinking champagne again.
So Thursday wasn't rough for me. So the hardest part of any Thursday morning for me is getting from the bed to the shower. It will take me sometimes an hour to do that.
You do the zombie shuffle?
I do the zombie shuffle, and the cats are like, what is she doing? Yeah. Yeah, that's what they sound like when I step on them accidentally.
Oh, no.
No, I sometimes I accidentally step on them, but it's not.
They do like to run around your feet while
They
you're
do,
walking.
yeah, they know what they're doing.
Never seen anything like it.
They say, oh, she's hungover. Let me mess with her.
I think they know.
Oh, they're so sweet, though, those little cats.
Little kitties.
I need 5 more.
What?
What?
5 more cats?
Yeah.
I can barely handle 2.
Well, you're not a cat woman.
I am Catwoman.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. No, not really.
Okay.
Yes.
It's been fun.
It has been fun.
Let's cheers our way out of here.
Real quick, Sa, I just want to tell you happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're my best friend.
We'll be celebrating
my
on
sister
Saturday.
I love you.
Da 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 da.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Where's the stop button?